Big up your whole self. Yeah, we're talking about leadership tonight. What's up, Anissa? What's up, Snooky? Yeah, we're gonna get started in about 2 minutes. Leadership conversations. We're unpacking how leadership works. Stay on. You're gonna get some value. What's up, Facebook family? Ooh, I met this girl this morning. I am hungry. What's up, Dr. LaFleece? Sad for me, Jamaica. Y'all know I married the best of Jamaica, right? The best of Jamaica. I married the best of Jamaica. I care what nobody say. I married the best of Jamaica. All right, beautiful. Well, we're gonna get started. You should get a little notebook. I'm gonna give you some good stuff. I'm gonna give you all some good stuff on leadership, whether it's marriage, church, if you're a pastor, minister, principal, mother, father. We're going into a leadership unpack right now. So we are live on YouTube, we are live on Facebook, and we are live on Instagram, all at the same time. Get them. All right, beautiful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Let me get the nice little. All right, so okay, so I was talking to someone earlier and just talking about leadership influence, how you have to understand it, and if you, you just have to apply it to anything that you're doing. You know, leadership begins with you. Leadership, some people say, I've heard it, if you're leading, nobody's following you, then you're basically taking a walk in the park, right? But I want to say this, there's a sense of leadership from within before anybody decides to follow you or model you. So leadership begins before followers show up. So I'm challenging that statement. I'll tell you why I believe leadership begins before the followers show up. There's a guy in the business. There's a guy in the word that says, why so downcast, O my soul? Put your hope in God. In another part, he says, bless the Lord, O my soul, and all that is within me. What does that mean? That means even before you lead anybody else, you have to lead yourself. And what he was trying to say there is self is made up of so many components that he has to talk to his soul, his mind, his will, his intellect, his emotions. You got to get the combination of your physical body, your mind, your heart. You got to bring all of those things together in agreement for it to head in the same direction. Sometimes you have something on your heart, but you're thinking something else, and your feet heading in another way. So you have to give your potential leadership. You have to know how to speak to yourself. You have to know how to design your life. You have to know how to put your life together. Nobody's going to come and do that for you. Personal, or what you call self-mastery. Nobody comes and says you need discipline. You cannot buy discipline in the store. This is something that you have to take on yourself. You can't buy a dream. You got to dream that yourself. Right? Things that come out of your heart, that's between you and God. You have to get to the place where you can get that desire. You can't go purchase desire. So self actually needs leadership. And if you can't lead self, if you won't follow you, why should anybody else want to follow you? If you won't follow you, why should anybody else want to follow you? So I'm speaking to myself. I'm in a leadership position as well. And I'm going to start off by saying, sometimes I think people are confused as to why people follow them. I'm not talking about followers and likes here on social media. I'm talking about modeling somebody that you actually want to aspire to be like. Today, the word follower, because of social media, the word friend, because of social media, those words, we have to make sure and define what we're talking about. You say, I have 5,000 friends on Facebook. Really? Think about real what the issue. You don't really have 5,000 friends. 5,000 people who basically, want to see what you're doing. They're not your friends. They want to connect with you. They want to hear what you have to say. They want to see what value. You're not really a friend. So we have to define what we're saying. And I got that question about definition of leadership, and I will define that for you. So you have to be able to lead self. Now, I'm going to unpack something that's going to help a lot of you when it comes to parenting, when it comes to marriage, when it comes to leading in church. If you're a pastor, you're listening here. If it comes to a business owner, you have employees, anybody's under you, right? Right? I'll answer some questions right after, right? People fail to realize why people follow them. You don't actually have to be good to be followed. You can actually have nothing good to say and people will follow you. Today in social media, they're who you call influencers. Bacchanal. Talk dirt about somebody. You get a lot of followers. But don't aspire to have followers that is not based on good values. If you are a person who really wants to have impact, see, not every social media influencer has impact. Impact is where somebody's life can be impacted for the good. You're taking them up, you're elevating them, you're lifting their head, you're giving them hope, you're some part of their transformation. They're not following you for what you can get from them. They're following you because there is a benefit. Something is impacting their life. They're coming for value. So I want you to understand this. When I come on here, I don't need anything from anybody who's listening. As a matter of fact, I don't, whether it's 1, 2, 3, or 4, I do this by obedience. One day God shared with me, he says, Luke, you have been given much, and to whom much is given, much is required. Do not hoard what God has given you. Share it. So I've been live for over 4 years. Go back on my Facebook, you'll see Monday after Monday, devotion after devotion. I've never paid money to build my followers. I have never bought. I have a bunch of messages here. Luke, we could get 30,000 people to see you, 5,000, 50,000. And when I go on those people profiles, there are 50 people following them. I always wonder, why would I buy a service from you? And I have organically had more followers who come for content than you. Why would I buy that service? It always confused me when somebody is selling something that they don't have proof or evidence that it's working for them. It always confuses me, right? So if I wanted to be an influencer just out there, I might go through those ways, but that is not my motive. My motive is to share value. I can show you my inbox. My goal is impact people. When I die, I always live with my last day in mind when I leave this earth. When I die, you will say, well, Luke is no longer here. God will say, Luke finished. All will die, but not all will finish. I'm just out here to finish. Tag somebody in the chat and say, I'm just out here to finish. Tag somebody right now. Tag somebody right now. Just say, I'm just out here to finish. I don't know about you, but I'm just out here to finish. Tag somebody right now. All right? Tag somebody right now. I'm just out here to finish, yo. I just want to finish. I want to finish strong. All right? I want to fulfill my assignment. Now, let's talk about leadership influence, and I'm going to unpack it and tell you why should someone follow you. And if you want people to follow you, there are people you're trying to reach. There are people that you're trying to connect with. Sometimes you don't understand. You cannot lead everyone in the same way. You cannot lead everyone in the same way. You have to learn situational leadership. Right? So why should anyone follow you? I'm going to the board here. Some of you on Facebook can see more. Instagram, you might be able to see a lot. Let me pull back here. The first thing is people must follow you because of your character. Character. Because of your character, they will end up trusting you. Trust. Trust. Now, for that to happen, I know the words are flipped here on Insta, but on Facebook and on YouTube, you guys, I'm sure you can see it. You must train yourself to investigate people's character. If you want people to follow you, want to become an influencer, you want to become a leader who impacts a lot of people, you have to listen to this information. On the flip side, am I trustworthy? Can people trust what I say? Am I a person of character? A simple definition of character is who you are in the dark. What is character? Character is who you are in the dark. Say, well, look, I don't understand what that means. Who you are in the dark when nobody's looking. What you will do, what chances you will take, the things that you will say, the things that you will do when nobody's looking. Who are you in the dark? That's character. So train yourself to lead with character. Core values, where your word and what you do is integrated, or integrity, the integration of what one says and what one does. Lead from the inside out. You didn't find me live on Facebook? I'm looking at me live on Facebook. On my page. On Luke Cormina. Unless it's not, I think I am. Anna, check for me and message me and let me know. Message me on Instagram, let me know if it's working. It's supposed to be working. All right? Are you guys hearing me on Facebook over there? Facebook and YouTube, are you guys there? No, it isn't there. Sheesh. They're holding back the juice. I'm just going to continue. It's supposed to be there. It says live. If I mess with this, I'm going to mess something up. I saw 2 comments. What is it saying? Hold on. YouTube is there, right? I'm seeing YouTube there. Stacy said she's there. Somebody said I'll stay here. I just saw me on Facebook. I saw me. You're live. Okay. So anyways, watch that. Let me continue here because I only have an hour here with you. It's lagging on Facebook. All right, no problem. So as a leader, those of us who are listening here, this is now character in its original meaning. I believe it's Hebrew or Greek, one of them. I don't want to quote it and be wrong. It means statue. A statue. You know what statue is? That means if rain falls, the statue look the same way. Sunshine, the statue look the same way. Winter, statue look the same way. Good times, statue look the same way. Anytime you come out and meet that statue, it's consistent. That's character. That is character. So, if people follow you for your character, that is healthy. And I want you to understand this. There are some people you will never be able to lead because you lack character. Not everybody will follow you because of your good looks. Not everybody will follow you because of your money. Not everybody will follow you because of your car. Not everybody will follow you because of your bag. Not everybody will follow you because of your belt. Not everybody going to follow you because of your talent. Some people will only follow you if you have character. What's up, MJ? Odette, God bless you guys. Anthony, Sam Sylvester, my YouTube family is here. Shannon is on here, right? Not everybody's going to follow you because of talent. Here's what the safer way is to try to lead from the inside out. Lead from here. A man with character even influences God. Luke, what a statement are you making? I will show you that men with character, when they pray, God treats their prayer different. Here's what the Bible says. The prayer of a righteous man, not anybody else's, it's not a type of powerful prayer. Not the long prayer, not the righteous prayer, not the shudabunda prayer, not the spitting in the mic prayer, not the roll on the floor prayer, not the shaking prayer. It's just the prayer of the who? Righteous man. A man with character. The Bible says heaven does this. And every time the prayer come up, heaven signs the check and say, let it avail. Let it be done. What's up, babe? Are you seeing me on the different platforms? The same way I was on Facebook. But I'm on Facebook, YouTube, and I'm on Insta trying it out. Right? Yeah. My wife is never on my lives. You all need to message her and say, Rachel, why aren't you on your husband's lives?
Because I'm dealing with your children.
She said, because she's dealing with my children. Never question. You see, Mama Bear? Never question Mama Bear, because immediately the response comes. All right, let's go. So if I'm leading, lead from character. Now, watch this. Why do people follow you? Competence. Or it might be a performance. Abilities. But again, your production, something you may be doing. All of those things that is coming out of your potential. People follow people who are good. That's true, Lisa. That's the gospel truth. She's so sharp. My wife is so sharp. I mean, laser sharp. Right? Competent. She don't care. You could be having glory and heaven inside of here. Hey, I'm taking care of your children. Relax, calm down, and go ahead and teach whatever you're teaching. I love my wife. So competence, right? The only thing she saw was the branding that I have on my Facebook. She's like, oh, nice. That's it. She's worried about nothing else. Right? Competence. Let me ask you this. You want people to follow you? The question is, and you see, I don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. Do you want me to give you the true version, or you want me to give you the strawberry on the top version? You want me to give you the true version of the strawberry on top, the nice one with tamarind sauce and, you know, like nice shadow benny sauce and, you know, or you want level pepper? Level pepper, where when you ask for the second doubles, it's almost like you know you shouldn't be having it, but it tastes so good, but you know it's level pepper. Right. Let me show you this. There are a lot of people who getting confused about leadership is influence, but they're running after recognition because it feeds a level of insecurity in them. So they're not mature, ready to eat. They're not ripe. You know it's force ripe? They're force ripe and they want to sell in the market. So when people eat force ripe things, their bellies hurt them. For those of you in America, I don't know how else to say that. Meaning nobody could digest something when it's force ripe. It looking like it's ready to eat, but it's not ready to eat. Take time. Don't rush the process. Get good first before you sell. Get good first. You say, well, Luke, you're killing my dreams. No. I'm going to allow your dream to last a little bit longer if you pay attention. Get good first. I see people sometimes they want to sell too early. Why? They're driven by the money and they're driven by the whole thing. And I can have this, and you're watching somebody else. Let me ask you this. If you get all of this recognition and this exposure, and you get all of this and the followers and the likes, and somebody say, I'm so impressed with your success, right? In their mind, they see exposure as a success. They say, well, if we were to ask you on your journey, if you could just talk to us and really, tell us how it is for you to be able to grow. And when you open your mouth, there's crickets in them. You know why it's crickets? Because the revelation is only gained in the process. The truth of how to teach people to come up. You can't teach people to come up if you weren't down. So when I go through my trials and my pains, I come through the tough, the darkest times. The process is what gives me the curriculum. When you don't have curriculum in your mouth, you only talk about what it's nice to talk about what others say, but if you don't have revelation in your mouth, it means that you're not fully processed. Because it is the trials, here's what the word says. I've led you through this wilderness these 40 years, that you may know what? That man does not live. So when you go through trials, you figure out things about higher things. You figure out that man does not live by bread alone, but by every word that proceeds out. Wow, that's a revelation. But you will never know that if you don't go through the wilderness. It was good for me that I was afflicted, that I may learn his statutes. Without the affliction, that learning doesn't occur. What's up, Joshi? So people should start following you because of your character. If you just have talent, competence, talent is not enough. Character protects competence. Makes it sustainable. If you are skillful, but you have moral failure, nobody will hear from you again. And you're as skillful as you. Very, gentleman, I don't speak down about anybody, but look at his influence versus his leadership. Even though leadership is influence, because we have to define what we're talking about. We want to use our impact in a way to lift people. As skillful as Tiger was when he ran into issues with his family, and none of us know the details, I can tell you it shifted how much people wanted to follow him. Why? It was not because he lost skill. Challenges with character. They're judging your character by your life's decisions. So character protects competence. But usually people are attracted to competence that leads them to your character. The gift is what baits people to you, but the character is what keeps people around you. The gift baits them, but the character is what keeps them. So start here, the competence as well. Now, I want to say to you about a third aspect of a person, and that is their spirit. There's something that you carry in the intangible world. Now you say, is character that? I want character to be more around your values, your inner core. Right? Your competence is what you can do with your hands, your skillfulness, your whatever your giftings are. But you see your spirit, a lot of people don't know how to lead people from here, from the spirit level. There are people who will never follow you unless you can speak at a spirit level. And that doesn't mean you have to be a Christian. There are many non-Christians and non-religious people who understand that level. They call it energy. They understand how to work it. If I speak in a certain way, I will attract certain types of people based on the words that I'm using. All the words have energy. I could talk in another type of way and double up the lives right now. I could change it in the spirit. Quickly, I can go from 70 to 140 by changing the energy or the spirit of my words. Quickly, why? Because you will do something different. People will be tagged. People who just watch for 1 second is going to jump on. Why? Because I understand this. I know exactly who I want to attract by the spirit measure of the words coming out of my mouth, or the way I carry myself, or the energy that I carry, or the peace that I carry, or the power that I carry. A lot of people don't know how to lead from this level. And there are some people who will never follow you. And sometimes people trying to beat people over the head to follow and listen to them, but they don't realize you have to lead them from a spirit level. You ever try to do something directly or influence somebody directly, then listening, and then all of a sudden you just stay quiet? You pray about that thing. You get a word in your spirit, and then you stop. And then the thing happen. You jump down here. You left all of this and you jump down here. This is what you call, this is the tectonic forces of the spirit realm. You ever see when something shifts in the unseen part of the world, which is in the earth? It shifts and the whole earth shakes. One shift in the tectonic plate, the whole earth shakes. This is the most powerful place to lead people from. Here. Talent. You can run. You're a sprinter and you can run. When you get old, you can't lead people here again. Character is almost eternal. But you see here? Here, you can influence nation. You affect systems here to influence people from. This is I want to say it is a dangerous level if you understand. It's a very powerful thing. And when I learned to lead from here, I learned to walk in environments and 5,000, 7,000 people, nothing prepared to see. And I lock in the zone and I started listening. And the spirit gave 2 things to talk about. And I watch everybody else talk about 10 things, 7 things, 15 things, 20 things, PowerPoint slides, this, whatever, that, this. I had an experience. I went to London the other day. And I had to share. I wasn't supposed to share at a convention. And then one of my leaders says, no, he needs to share because he didn't get to share at the previous convention. And they said, good, let's put things in place. And they said, you only have 7 minutes. At the end of 7 minutes, the music will come up and your mic will go down. Do not speak past 7 minutes. I said, no problem. I did not prepare what I wanted to say. I asked my coach, I said, what do you want me to talk about? He used 1 word, boom. I took the word and I sit down, quiet. And I went here, because these are people who don't know me. They don't know this and they don't know this, but they cannot deny this. Sit down. And I get it drop. Because remember, at this level, you are being led. At this level, you are leading others. But this level here, the influence is coming from somewhere else. I don't know how to explain it. This is where you are surrendered the most, but you are most powerful. Here's when you're in charge. But here, you're not in charge. So anyways, I went here for that event. Here. I left here, speaking and all those things. They don't know this. So I have 7 minutes and I went here. But when you go here, what you will do in 7 minutes, others cannot do in 7 years. The impact is almost unfair in the sense. This here is the level you want to get at to learn leadership. As a matter of fact, sometimes at this level, you don't even feel as you. It's almost as if you're being used. you almost feel like when you finish with you, then you get to return to your normal thoughts. But in that moment, it's not you. I went here. I wish I could show you guys again because I will explain to you what I engaged with the words. And it's not speaking, It is, okay, for example, watch this. Now I'm gonna go in an explanation here. Don't get thrown off. Watch this. Watch what I'm going to explain it to you in a story. Person is sick. So what will change this person's situation is healing, right? So this person needs healing. So this source, S-O-U-R-C-E. Boy, I feel I've left school so long. I feel if they ask me to read Genesis 1:1, I'll say, in the beginning. In the beginning. All right, look. I have no spell check on these whiteboards, right? Watch this. Watch this. You know where, if you want to buy something, you think of where sells it, right? So you think of a source. So if I say I want to buy groceries, what's the source? Supermarket. If you say you want to buy a shoe, what do you think of? The store, the mall. If you say you want to buy gas, what do you think of? Gas station. So there is a connection between substance and source. Whenever you think of I need a substance, you think of what is the source, and you go straight to the source. Okay. So this being or this receptor is sick, which is a condition. It needs healing. So it thinks of the source just like it needs gas. Can't see the whiteboard. Oh. The phone. You might get it there, right? So the healing, the receptor needs healing from the source. Okay, watch this. The source says, I will send in healing in words. So the words is a vehicle. Or it's like the blood, it transports things. So this is the content, but this is the context. So words, the word is carrying in it, it's like a container. It's carrying in it, and the source said, I will send you what you need in this container word. So watch this. If you know what a person needs, you can put in words. It's almost like you're using the word. You see, like a train is carrying people or carrying produce or whatever. You could put whatever you want in the words. If you know how to lead from a spirit level, you could put it in the words. And when the words go out, whatever you load in the words, the people receive. So there are people who will do stand-up comedy like a Steve Harvey. So what he puts in his words is something to make people laugh. He codes his words. So the word is a transportation system, and he's the source of it. So he codes his words with something that will trigger laughter. His goal is to make people laugh, feel better about themselves. Laughter is good medicine. So he even him, I have seen, knows how to lead from a spirit level. So when I got that opportunity, I locked in and I said, I don't have, these people don't know me, so my character is not going to move them. Again, they don't know me. You might be able to know how to communicate, speak, or whatever, but competence is not enough. You're going to have to lead and influence from a spirit level. I want you to know it's one of the most powerful levels that you can lead from. Within your leadership, people will be impressed sometimes by your accomplishments. People will be impressed by your ability to produce results. People will be impressed by your ability to help others produce these results. People will be impressed by, obviously, past results, current results. But ultimately, the number one place of influence is when people are impacted by your presence when you are not present. Pinnacle leadership is when people want to be a part of what you are a part of because you are a part of it. Because your personhood, who you are, carries that weight. That is where you want to get. So don't struggle to lead people. Figure out within yourself what level you need to be at. Start within your character, work your competence, but do not leave out the spirit level of leadership. And that is not a religious level. Huh? That has nothing to do with religion. Anybody can lead at that realm. Now, let me take about 5 to 10 minutes of questions. Anything that you may have on a leadership, followership context, anything that I've shared. Give me some questions. What's up, Blessed? Give me some questions. Any questions that you may have. I'll take questions from YouTube. I'll take questions from Facebook. I'll take questions from Instagram. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Any questions? Any questions for me? No questions. All right. Somebody want to go live to ask the questions? All right. Trini Queen, you're requesting to go live to ask the questions. I hope that's you requesting to go live. I'm bringing you up to ask me the questions. It's 11:11. Hey, what's up? Hello. Trini Queen absolutely left. Come on, y'all got to go live with me to ask the questions. It's too much for me to read. Who's ready? Come on, request. Aaron from Canada, do you want to go live? Put the camera in the air if y'all don't want to. Let's do it. Let's do it. Ask your question. We'll have a discussion. I got comments here. How can we get in that spirit form? Not sure if I'm asking it right. What tips or advice for tapping into spirit leadership? How do you maintain impact? Good questions. I'll read that. Everybody's rejecting me. Nobody wants to go live. Oh, I can't go live. Bless it. I like to have the discussion. Who's going to have a discussion? Nobody? Okay, somebody's requesting. Let's go. Let's go, Asha, from Barbados. Well, from Trinidad in Barbados. Let's go. Questions, questions, questions. What's up?
Hi, Pastor Luke. I'm currently combing my hair.
I think we're opening the borders soon. Did you hear that?
In the next 2 weeks, yeah, I believe.
Okay, hopefully it's a little bit faster. How are things going?
I am going okay, staying safe.
Beautiful. So what's your question? Because you're an avid learner. I love your questions. You're always asking good questions.
So my question is, I'm actually repeating someone else's question. They asked earlier on how can you know your worth and how do you maintain impact? How do you know you could influence people?
Well, the first thing, think about a ripe mango, right? It can't speak. It doesn't have a Gucci belt. It doesn't drive a car. But you will notice a ripe mango when you pass a tree. The reason is it's fulfilling its purpose. It's a fruit. It looks good. It's ripe. It has the right color. It will attract us. So the question is, your attractiveness comes from the fulfillment of your purpose. That's how you become attractive in the earth. You are doing what you were meant to do. You're operating in your potential. Your gifts and your talents align with your purpose. You're on path to destiny. You're clear about your identity, who you are. You depend on your source, where you come from. And that is how your life is led. If you have those 5 core principles, I'm depending on my source, where I come from. Who am I? Identity. Why am I here? Purpose. What can I do? Potential. And where am I going? Destiny. If you are consistent, you will maintain impact. And that is how you will influence. You have to influence people, firstly, getting your life in order. Get in order. Figure out why you were built the way you were built. And then some of us are spending a lot of time learning things that has nothing to do with why we are here. So we're not getting better even though we're doing time. See, this is not prison. When you do time in prison, it doesn't mean you're going to get better. And that's how a lot of people's life is. They're just doing time and not getting better. If you have time, you have to be applying it to getting better at becoming what you were born for. So I spend time on listening to orators, speakers. I spend time on developing the word, understanding scripture, how to explain things. It aligns with my purpose. So when I go live, it's not just blah, 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 blah. You have spent time to become sharp at what you do. So now when you come here, somebody could get value. So that is how you maintain your worth or your impact, by you keep working on getting better at what you were born to do. But also you have to discover those core components of a person of influence. Somebody who understands their source, somebody who knows who they are, somebody knows their purpose, they understand their potential, they know where they're going, and all these are congruent. It's aligned. Yeah?
I didn't get to write down all those things, but I got it.
Perfect.
I got it.
Thanks for jumping on.
No problem.
Okay, bye-bye. All right, who's up? I can't pull up any of y'all from YouTube. Let me jump on a question from YouTube. Line up yourself. Insta, line up yourself. Let's go. What advice about tapping or leading from the spirit realm? Well, you have to be able to firstly, that is a whole other life. That is a whole other life. But this is what I will say. The first thing it starts with is understanding the spirit, the realm of the spirit. You have to understand it. For example, let me explain something to you all. There are little hints. There are little hints to teach us when you study. So husband and wife gets together, they have sex. A seed is planted in the womb, and now we have potential beginning, right? Male and female come together. All of that is principles. People not even studying. Male and female coming together. The male is carrying something, the female is carrying something. When it comes together, it brings forth life. That is God. To deny that is to not understand the spirit. God is a spirit. Look how he does things. So something is coming together and forming one. But that is mimicking what should have happened before. Because remember, he said the two will become one flesh. So God promotes marriage. And he also promotes not having sex outside of marriage. Why? Because sex has the potential to produce life. Something from the male, something from the female comes together and produce life. But God doesn't want that life to come without commitment, covenant, and stewardship. So he says, before that life comes in, let me protect it with the covenant of marriage, so that life will be protected, loved, covered, and provided for. It's a shelter. So God says, let's build the covenant of marriage. And in marriage, when the male and female comes together and life is produced, the shelter is already built over the life. Shelter. It's covering, its protection, right? Watch this. So when you study God, he has an order. God, built in him, in the spirit, is what you call the law of priorities. Some things happen first and then other things happen after. The law of first things, study it. Now watch this. I don't understand everything, but I'll tell you this. It is deep. Watch this. I was explaining this. So in pregnancy, for 9 months, this seed is in darkness of the womb. And after 9 months, we call the birth, and then it comes into light. When you plant a seed based on, now let me ask you this. Who determines how long seeds take to germinate and to bring forth fruit? I don't know. That's why scientists still can't make seeds like how God does it naturally. So now, if you put hot pepper, pimento, 6 weeks, it goes into the darkness of the what? The earth. And then the fruit is seen in the light. You see these patterns? Watch this. So now you carry a time built inside of you to mature. That's why you mustn't compare yourself to others. We are different types of seeds. Tag somebody right now and say, I'm not carrying what you're carrying, but we're both carrying something. Tag somebody right now. Tag somebody who you know is carrying something, but they're not carrying what you're carrying, but we're both carrying something. Tag somebody right now. Tag somebody. Tag somebody you know you're carrying something. But we ain't carrying the same thing. I love you, but we ain't carrying the same thing. I love you, but we ain't carrying the same thing. That's why when you compare, you don't understand the spirit realm. In the spirit realm, all creations are celebrated equally. The eye is never greater than the nose. The nose is not greater than the ears. The heart is not the most important thing. In the spirit realm, all creations are honored equally. There is no big importance and small importance in the spirit realm. Nobody is. We created that. That is man's doing. In the spirit realm, oh boy, I have to do a live by itself to show you these parallels. If I show you the law of three, some of you will run down the street right now. Watch this. So you must go through the development in darkness. God always develops seeds in darkness. This is the way he protects you in your process. When God takes you through darkness, he's actually protecting you because he don't want you to bring forth fruit without learning how to go through challenges. You give a child $100, the child don't know the worth, so the child will tear it up root. So you don't give blessings where there's no character for the blessings to be protected or suspended on. So before God puts fruit on your branches, he must know that your branches has the strength to hold the weight of the blessing of the fruit. How does he do that? He develops you in darkness. He actually protects your life with the process because it's the process that develops your strength for your harvest. All of us are parallel. One will come in 9 months, 6 weeks. If you do sweet potato, it's 6 months. Instagram, you're about to quit soon. So let me quit and then come back live. Facebook and YouTube is still with me. I'll share one more story and then we'll be done. Share one more story, we'll be done. Right? What's up, Miss Stutz? So I'll just share this last story and we'll be done. So I was saying that to break down what books do you recommend on leading by the Spirit. Dr. Miles Monroe, The Spirit of Leadership. Dr. Miles Monroe, The Spirit of Leadership. That's the book I recommend. But the #1 book is the Bible. But you'll have to sit with somebody or be taught by somebody who will show you God's ways. But you can study it yourself. It's hidden in his ways and his thoughts. If you study what he's trying to accomplish and the way he does it, and then detect his thoughts, you can add all these things up and keep seeing patterns in God. He's very consistent. He's not all over the place. God is actually very consistent. It's very easy to study God because he's so consistent, right? So I'll share the last story with you guys. I know you guys have been on here with me, YouTube, Facebook, and then Insta. So I know I kept that other one. I saved it before Instagram dumped it. So I was explaining to you, don't skip the process. You have something and you don't skip the process. Everybody has their process, and then things are birthed in the line. I was trying to share this story of the elephant was having a talk with the dog. And the dog says, you know, we're both pregnant at the same time. I can't wait for our kids to play together. And the elephant says, yes, that's going to be fun time. So anyway, it came to the point where the dog had its litter and the elephant was still pregnant. And, you know, the dog says, you know, well, when are you expecting? It says soon. And, you know, the dog ended up, you know, pups are coming up, fluffy, everybody's playing, these dogs are growing up. And then the dog has another litter months later. And the dog said to the elephant, says, listen, is something wrong with you? Because you've been pregnant and I've had 2 litters since you have had none. You know, what's the deal? Why haven't you brought, you know, forth to the earth as yet? And the elephant kind of got down to the dog and says, we're not carrying the same thing. See, when you bring forth to the earth, they're cute, they're lovely, they're fluffy, and everybody loves them. You say, what I'm bringing to the earth, when its foot hits the ground, the entire jungle will know. When it starts to move, it will move trees, forests will be broken at its feet. So we're not carrying the same thing. So it takes longer for me to bring to earth something that has the level of power and influence that I'm producing. Don't compare yourself to people. We're not all carrying the same anointing. We're not carrying the same destinies that is planted with us. And it doesn't make us better than anybody because what God has called us, that's just what God has called me to do. So don't compare yourself to anybody. Just know the level of pain that you're going through is indicative of the power of your impact that you will have when you come out of this. He don't carry you deep. He do not carry you deep if he's not going to take you up high. So anytime somebody said, you know, what's wrong? Is everything okay? He says, no, it's okay. We're just not carrying the same thing. They'll get it on their way home, right? They'll get it on their way home. Say, but just what with that business, how things look like it didn't work out. No, man, it's working out. It's just that what I'm carrying is not what you're carrying. It takes a little bit more work. It takes a little bit more thought process. It takes a little bit more money. It takes a little bit. Don't compare yourself to everybody. You are unique. And when you bring forth, they will know. So don't be too hard on yourself saying, well, I've seen people producing. I had this idea. I saw this. No. What you're carrying is going to come forth. But every seed, do you not realize, watch this, the same fertile soil, one seed, 2 seed, pepper, 6 weeks, sweet potato, 6 months. See, this is why I have a problem where people don't understand that God is a spirit. Who set the time in the seed? Who set the timing in the seed? Where do you go to affect that? Every time. And watch this, when it brings forth fruit, it duplicates the timing in the seed. So that means the system that God puts in place, when peppers come to fruition, the peppers program the seeds, the new seeds in it for 6 weeks. I don't know. It blows my mind when I try to understand God in the spirit realm. So I try to pattern the things that I do from the spirit realm. So when you lead in the spirit realm, it's almost as if you are using the tools of God to impact your world. It's like he's lending you the things that he uses to create the world. So when you use his word, which is his tool, that's how God gets a lot. Think about it. In the beginning, the place was dark, solve a problem, and God what? Said, let there be what? Light. So it's almost like, can you pound that nail in the wall? What are you going to use? A hammer. You pound the nail in the wall. So that was a tool to accomplish a purpose. So God sees the place dark. What is the tool he used? Words. He spoke. He did not comment on the darkness. He spoke to the light. He solved the problem. So God is actually saying you could use the same tool if you understand how to use it to change things in the earth. So this is what blows my mind. In the pepper seed, 6 weeks, full maturity. In the sweet potato, 6 weeks full. Nothing is wrong with the soil. The soil doesn't have a problem because it brings sweet potato to maturity in 6 months versus peppers in 6 weeks. There's nothing wrong with the soil. There's nothing wrong with the soil. And don't you dare, as a pepper, be looking at anybody as a sweet potato thinking about your results came faster, so you're better. You're not built for the same thing. You're not carrying what they're carrying. Calm yourself down, relax, and understand that the timing for your harvest is set different from the timing to theirs. And don't you think as a sweet potato something is wrong with you because you see people harvesting in 6 weeks. You're not carrying the same thing that they're carrying. I got rid of the opinions of men when I went through my broken engagement. When I went through my broken engagement, that was the end of listening to what people thought. I'd gone so low, I'd say, people are really, you do well, they celebrate. You make a mistake, they talk about you. You'll get criticized for doing good, get criticized for doing bad. People are pretty much consistent. So why live for the applause? You can't live perfectly. Someday you're going to mess up. And when you mess up, expect that some are going to say, it's all right, bro, it's all right, we are fair. And then some are going to say, yeah, I always know fellas will never. You don't need to mess up to know how people are going to respond to your success or failures. So why use their responses to determine what you want to do? Let me ask you this. When one of the most powerful leaders who walked the earth said, who the man said that I am? Oh, some say that you're just this guy. Some say that you're this guy. Well, who do you say? You say, I say that you look like you're the son. Here's what he told him. And I'll finish with this. Flesh and blood did not reveal this to you. You know what he told him? You tapped in. You tapped in. Jesus said, you could not get that answer from a book. You could not get that answer from anything on the earth. You tapped into the same source that I tapped into. That's what he told that disciple. It was revealed. That's why when you study the scripture, because it was written by a spirit, just written by men, translated by men, but the source of it was the spirit. When you read those words, it's tools that you get. You can wheel it in the spirit realm. We'll do a call specifically on that. Somebody wants to go live. Last question. Instagram. Let's go. Mohammed Mustafa. I don't know who that is. You have a question, Mohammed? Mohammed Mustafa. You have a question? No? I was trying to bring you up there. What's up, Snooky? Look, you know, I'm trying to choose you, and they're not letting me. What? Let me see if I can find you. Wow. It says unable to join. I don't know why. Look here, I don't know why. I was trying to bring you up. It says unable to join. Instagram love to do this stuff. Instagram love to do this stuff. Any other questions for me? Save this live, please. Yeah, it's saved. All right, that's about the size of it, guys. 11:38 p.m. What are y'all still doing up? What are you still doing up? What you guys doing with your life? Any more questions? How do you learn to work that muscle of leading from the spirit level? Who do you study for spirit level leaders? My father, Jesus. Even you see some of these leaders, y'all don't notice. Watch. Let me see if I can flip my camera. Watch this. You see some of these people I have in my room. I study people who lead from the spirit level. Watch. It's not about Christianity. Look. Look. Go get their biographies. Go get their biographies and read about them. Go get their biographies and you will see. You don't realize, watch, there are people. Some of you are going to be surprised at the statement I make here. I probably don't make that statement. I'll leave it for the next slide. Some of you will be surprised. There are people who you hate, and the reason you hate them is because they're quoting you from a spirit realm. And you are buying right into it and you don't know it. That's why they can affect your spirit like that. They're not getting you. It's almost like, I just can't stand him. I just sick and tired of him. I just don't want to hear anything he has to say. If you know I don't like him, that was his purpose. And the person got you at a spirit. You bought right into it. You don't even know that a lot of them, and not everybody's Christian. Eh? Not everybody is Christian. Do you not realize that? Okay, let me give you this last thing. Watch this. Let me give you this last thing. We battle not against flesh and blood. So we've just left the room, but against principalities, spiritual wickedness in high places, rulers of darkness. Where's all of that stuff? No, let's be serious. If you're not fighting against what I see with my eyes, and you're fighting with that other stuff, where is it? So that's why people don't understand why certain things be happening. You all don't realize we are now in the realm where people have learned to tap in there. I know people who break up marriages from a spiritual realm. I know people who create divorces from a spirit realm. You always be trying to understand everything off of the surface natural. I'll tell you some stories on the next live of what a girl discovered in an email that her mother-in-law was doing to her in a spirit realm to mash up her marriage. I will share that with you all next time. This is a true story. I wouldn't ask the person to come live, obviously, but the mother-in-law left an email open and staying at her house, passing through, and she sat down. She just browsed and she saw a funny title to the subject of the email. And when she clicked on it, it was a conversation between the mother-in-law and an individual that said to her to get these items from your daughter-in-law, some personal items, and get a courier to bring it for me. And that is all you will have to do. And that marriage will be no more. You don't think it's be one thing I be dealing with? No, I tell you, if y'all don't know how to get in that realm, this is the realm that affects the earth. Forget all the rest of stuff. Instagram, these things are joke. Joke. All this thing on the surface is joke. Take yourself serious, but don't take yourself too seriously. Joke. In the spirit realm, in the realm of things unseen, they are more real than the things that are seen. You believe in this because you can touch it. Put your hand in the electrical socket and see if you don't get shocked. You can see it? No, but it's real. Those things are more real. The unseen is more real than the seen. Anyways, that's it. But they're getting too quiet on me. Like, what is soaking in this thing? What they lighting up now, man? I'll have a little jazz music playing in the back. I'll play some reggae. Or they're getting too deep. Too deep. Or you're pulling on this thing in me. You're pulling. You keep pulling like that. God bless each and every one of you. We'll jump back on. Sometimes I do these things randomly and I need to be more consistent. Look. Simple blessings, reggae. I want you all to appreciate the gratitude and the simple blessings right now in life. God bless each and every one of you. Taking some reggae. By the way, my wife has gone into a level of baking and cooking in this quarantine like I have never witnessed before. As a matter of fact, I'm calling a quarantine every year for about weeks. I'm personally scheduling it in the calendar because this thing has been amazing. She has cooked things that she's baking, she's cooking. The Lord has done miraculous things. This is wow. Every year I'm scheduling a quarantine. Every year. Big up on your whole self. Don't go and message her. By the way, some of you, let me address something now. As soon as I started to have a little misbehavior on here, people started slipping to my wife DMs and say, go and get him. He's misbehaving. He's saying all kind of things about you all out there. All kind of things. And I'm going to go in her inbox, see all of y'all be doing these personal messages, and you go hold a delete on my live. I'll wait till all of it. Blessings, blessings. Lisa Charles, watch yourself. Simple things. Facebook and YouTube, I love you guys. I know I was with the Instagram family, but I love you guys. Hopefully you got something powerful from tonight. Blessings, blessings, blessings.